Hi guys! I uploaded a video about my outfit of the day and also my giant cupcake. It was a chocolate overload that I made for my grandma, and so many of you guys have asked me if I could please do a tutorial on it, so I thought why not? It is so easy. I am like the world's worst cook and yet I made that look okay. So first of all you've got this. Now this is actually kind of like a KitchenAid, but it's basically just a whisk, like a mixer, and it's just a standalone sort of one that you can just leave, and I love it. It's absolutely amazing. Now this bowl is huge, this is massive, so we can fit a ton of stuff in here, and then all this is, it comes with 3 different appliances, but this is basically just good for making cakes and cupcakes. I think it's just some sort of metal sort of whisk. For the topping, it's important that you make sure you put all of your chocolate into the fridge. It's completely up to you. Whatever you want to put on the top, you go crazy. Just preheat your oven to 160 degrees C. By the way, excuse the hair today, because I'm making these and I'm going to let them cool down. You have to let them completely cool down before you can do anything like decorating them, otherwise I've done it before and it went wrong. I decorated it too quickly and the whole thing basically caved in on itself and it looked like a massive mudslide pie, so I was like, oh no, all that hard work for nothing. So I'm just going to hit the gym in between, subbing whatever you guys want to do. If you want to do this equally the night before, you can do, and then you can get ready in the morning and then it's good to go, so then you can just decorate it. It's entirely up to you. If you're using a whisk as well, we'll just adapt it. To the bowl, all I'm going to add is first of all my flour, then I'm going to add to that my teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, then we're also going to add the cocoa powder, add in the sugar, and then you're just going to give that all a good old mix together just to make sure that all of the ingredients kind of just mix in with each other, I guess. By now we should be looking a bit like this, just kind of a bit all over the place, a bit chocolatey, a bit lumpy. Then we're going to add the eggs. Look at how much butter there is. Oh, but it will taste amazing. Just don't think about what's going into it, okay? It's all fat-free, it's fine. And then finally in goes the golden syrup. Now the reason why we use golden syrup is because sometimes cakes can be really dry and you want them to be nice and moist, you want them to be nice and soft and fluffy. By this stage, this is looking like an absolute dream. Look at that. You just want to eat this right now, don't you? No, it looks disgusting. But it will be fine because it will all come together, don't worry. So all I do is just hook it back underneath here and then find where it slots into, turn it around just to make sure that it's secure, it's not going anywhere. And then on mine, all I do is just then release this, which then puts it back in, push it down, which then locks it in, and then I just select a speed on here. Now start off slow. If you guys are using a hand whisk as well, just start off at a low kind of speed first of all, because you've got all this flour in here as well. If you put it on too high, it's just going to go poof and just go all over you. So start off quite slow. I'm going to start off at like a 2, like speed 2, and then work up to say like your maximum speed. And then all you want to do is just mix until it's a nice kind of combined mixture. Then we'll open it up and see how it's looking. There we go, and that looks perfect to me. So that's all fine. As long as it's all nice and evenly combined, you will be absolutely loving life. I probably did this for like about a minute, so it's not too long, but you can judge it by how much you think needs to be done. It's all going to rise anyway, so it's not like icing where it has to be perfect, so don't worry, this consistency will be absolutely fine. Next, we're going to actually just put it into the massive giant cupcake mould. So I'm going to show you what I've got. Now this one I use is just a red one. You should kind of be looking for something that's got this. So this is the base, and then you've got the top. Now this just makes it easier because it's got these bits at the top. It's just easier to kind of push it out, I think, or to pick it up. But it should have kind of lines going all the way outside. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess, if it doesn't. But anyway, it kind of looks a bit like a hat. So there we go. I will wash this before I use it, don't worry, it's just been in my hair. They need a good wash anyway because they've just been sitting in the cupboard, and it's always a good idea just to wash them beforehand. But make sure they're completely dry before you do actually put them in the oven, otherwise they will probably be a little bit soggy on your cake. So all we're going to do is take some vegetable oil, and all you're going to do is just grease the inside of this. All I kind of do is just pour it into the mould and pour quite a bit in there, and then just spin it around over the sink because it will come out, a lot of oil will come out of it. Just so you're greasing every little bit, because obviously these are ridged as well. They're like got little dints and stuff around the outside, so you want to make sure you cover every single bit of them. Then you're going to place it onto your baking tray, and then all we're going to do is just then spoon the mixture into the mould, and you're going to want it to be about 3/4 of the way full. And you just repeat the process on the top as well. Pop them into your preheated oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. It will depend on your oven completely, but all you have to do just to make sure that they're ready, and we will do it in a minute, is just stick a knife in, and basically they're ready when they don't come out with anything on them, when they come out absolutely clear. So that's how you know that your cupcakes are ready. Also, apparently you're meant to be able to touch on the top and they're meant to sort of spring back. That again apparently shows that they're ready as well. But I always think you can never fail with the knife test. I'm just going to check and test the cakes to see if they're ready. Do it on the other side. And plain again, so they're perfect and they're ready to come out now. Take them off this baking tray and just pop them to, well, we're just going to leave them on the side just to cool down completely. So you want to feel the outside edge and they'd be absolutely cold. Okay, so then while the cakes are cooling, what we're going to do is start making the icing. So what I'm going to do is start off by adding about half of this bag of icing sugar, and then we're going to mix it all up. Now what you need is a sieve. You need something that's really fine, because obviously you've got to be able to make sure this isn't lumpy. It will go everywhere, so we'll just do a big clean up afterwards, but just do bits at a time. So I've added roughly half a packet of icing sugar into this bowl, which is roughly about 2 sieves worth because obviously you can't put it all in one go. And all I'm going to do now is just pop it back underneath the blender, add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. That just kind of gives it a little bit of flavour as well. As I did with the cake, I'm just going to add 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder into the mixture. You are making a hell of a lot of icing here, and remember, if you've got some cupcakes left over from the mixture, then you will be able to use the icing on the top as well. We just rather make a bit too much than not have enough. Don't worry about sieving this, it's not a problem, it should be fine enough to kind of go through. If you want to make it really like fudgy and really chocolate fudge, then I'd say maybe use some plain chocolate or some dark chocolate, and you'd have to melt that down. But obviously before you ice it, you would have to make sure it's completely cool, because obviously if you're adding warm to cold, it is going to just make it even more gooey. So you would have to allow for extra cooling time. This is going to go everywhere, so it's really important that if you guys are using your handheld whisks as well, you just start off with a really, really slow speed. I've had it turned on. I was like, why's it not working? Right, there we go. So we just put it on a low speed. There we go. The power of technology. It seems to be coming together quite nicely. You can see it all from here. But what I'm going to do is just add a little bit more icing sugar to it, just because we do need a little bit more anyway. The way to test it is just to pick up a bit and make sure, now this is really stiff, make sure it doesn't fall off basically, which it doesn't, we're fine. And then all I'm doing is then just spooning this mixture into a nice big bowl, and all I'm going to do is pop it into the fridge just so that it cools down as much as possible, because the cooler it is, the more stiff it will go, and the more you'll be able to then pop it onto your cake and know that it's not going to go anywhere. Okay guys, so I have left these cakes now for as long as I possibly can. Look at the size of this. This is my hand against it. I look so veiny, don't I? But anyway, all we're going to do is take this out now. Because you've greased it before, they should hopefully, you can see the sides are coming away. Pop it onto a plate. It's kind of like a jelly mould. And then just stick your fingers up the sides of the cake, just making sure that you're kind of pulling it away from the actual cake itself, and you'll feel that the mould starts to lift off. And there we go! So it's pretty much clean, like inside the mould, it's crazy. Just to take the top off is be really careful, but you need a massive kind of bread knife, ideally. And all you're going to do is just kind of dig it in and just slice the top bit off. Now if you can resist eating it, then you're a better person than me. But I'm going to try not to, because it does look really tasty. Now I'm probably cutting this to myself and I'm meant to be cutting it away, but never mind, we're safe here, it's fine. And so you just pull that bit off, and that's basically where your icing is then going to go in to sandwich the cake on top. So we can now move this one across to the actual plate where it's going to be finally, and then we can do the next mould. So you've just got to make sure it's basically flat, so that it's going to sit nicely on top of the other one. I've just got the icing here. All we're going to do is now just just basically pop a little bit of icing onto the actual cake itself, and just going to sort of make a bit of a filling for it, but it also acts as a bit of a sealant to kind of seal the two layers together. Take off the top and just place it on the top, she says. She'll probably make it all go wrong now. And there we go. If you guys can see, you can kind of proportion it, move it wherever you want. But you can see basically, this is my hand, so that's kind of the size of the cake that we are looking at here. To be able to ice, all we need to do is take a glass if you're on your own. You need to take some proper icing bags. Now these ones are from Lakeland. They're just kind of almost professional use ones. I will link them below so you'll be able to get them. But they're kind of like a big sort of triangle. There we go. And you just cut off the top. So the very point, like that. And all you're going to do is take a nozzle. Now you can decide which one you use, but for me, I just use, these are just from Lakeland again. They're just kind of different nozzles that you can do different effects with. I'm just going to use a wide kind of star one. If you guys can see, I'll put it against my hand. There you go. And then all you do is open up your bag at the top, and then just push the actual end through the bottom. Then roll the top over of the bag till you've sort of got like a little cave, let's say. And then you pop it into your glass. Now this is just if you're on your own. If obviously you've got help, then definitely use it. But it's just because obviously you need all the help you can get to be able to spoon this stuff in. And then all we do is basically just take the actual icing itself and then just pop it into the icing bag. Feed it all through from the top. You kind of don't want too many, you see there's like air in here, you kind of want to eliminate that because it will just come out and it will make an air sound, and that's just going to make it look a bit gappy. Obviously, I mean, this is homemade, so you don't need to worry about it looking absolutely perfect. And then just put a kind of twist in the top, and I hold it with my right hand at the top and my left hand at the bottom, and you're just going to squeeze with your right hand, so the one at the top, and then move around. Now it does make it easier if you've got somebody with you because they can obviously move the cake around for you. So you're just pushing it onto the cake and just moving it around. Don't worry if this looks absolutely rubbish at first, because you will go over it a few times. Woohoo! Now you can see that some of these we've got a few holes and stuff. That's not a problem because we're going to decorate it. We can just stick stuff over the top. Once you've gone around the whole cake, then the only thing that's left to do is just kind of cover up this middle bit. So you can just, if you want to, go around the outside. Chop up some Mars bar. Start placing them just wherever you want. Like I said, it might be an idea just to kind of cover up any gaps. Then you might want to use some Maltesers. Just put them wherever you want on the cake. Chop a couple in half. Finally, what I'm going to use is just some white chocolate heart. Take all of your Kit Kats and we're going to basically line them along the outside, just pressing into the cake. And then that, my little lovelies, is it. So it's one massive chocolate lover's dream, I would say, of a cake, and it is the size of pretty much my head. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel as always. I'm going to try not to eat this tonight. I'll see you guys in a few days' time. In the meantime though, have an amazing chocolate filled few days. See you guys soon. Bye!